chased by the media. And people need to call that out. There's been a lot of places. I mean, look at Florida. Florida's done really well in comparison to places like New York, and has had some of the least restrictive rules. I'm all set to go. It's funny, I've been doing these polls every couple of months on Twitter, saying, do you think the Super Bowl will be played on the day it's supposed to be played with a pretty close to full audience? And it was, I think, when I first asked it was like the summer, and it was like maybe 40% of people said no, and then it was up to about 80% of people last time I asked. I should ask you that, because I think quite clearly the NFL is not anyway. They're not going to let the whole crowd in there. They may have it on the same day. Yeah, it'll probably be played. It does seem like they're doing everything. I watched a football game between the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers last night, 3:40 p.m. on a Wednesday. So I think they're trying to get that Super Bowl in on time. Amazing. Let's go to Justin in New York. Hey, Justin, you're on the Glenn Beck program. That's Stu. Hey. Go ahead. This is where you come in. You should try talking now. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my code on. So yesterday I was watching Tucker Carlson, and they were saying that they tested some samples for the American Red Cross where there was antibodies from last March or April, days before we were told about this. So it would indicate that coronavirus has been in our community or in our country a lot longer than what we thought.
Oh yeah, because they had antibodies from people that were tested clear back in March, when really those were the first cases that happened in the U.S. So for people to already have antibodies at that point, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think it went back to probably December of 2019. It seems to be the current. Some people believe November, but it does seem to be earlier
Here in the States?
There has been some recent reporting on that.
Wow.
But that would. I mean, I think the first cases came in February, right? That we knew initially in Los Angeles.
Maybe there were like
very
travelers.
Yeah, from China and such. But I know it's an interesting thing. It's tough to really. It didn't seem like it was exploding at that time. If you look at all-cause mortality, you see a huge spike in March and April. I mean, it definitely seemed like that's when it really hit. But we don't know exactly. Look, it's China, and until we will find out at some point in like 2060 that China knew way more than we ever knew. It's like when some Iron Curtain falls and somebody leaks some documents and you find out, decades later with these communist regimes what actually happened. We've seen it over and over again with the Soviet Union as their country crumbled. We found out all sorts of stuff that we didn't know.
Well, China is still claiming 86,000 people are infected to this day.
I mean, come on.
And 4,634 people have died.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, that is asinine.
No, it's not true.
That can't be. It's got to be 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times higher than that. I mean,
no, and probably not for a really long time.
Probably not for a real long time.
For a really long time. They have a way to seem to be able to just like make people disappear quite often. They're like, hey, did you know they have like 1 million Uyghurs in camps? I was like, how is that new news? How do you get to 1 million 41 notices in the year 2020? I was like, well, they just did it. They just did it. Yeah, when you have control of your society, it's a lot easier to do these things. And look, it's also easier to control a freaking virus when you can weld everyone in their garage. It is. When you can, I mean, a company that's like, yeah, Bibles, we like Bibles. You don't see that much anymore. Go to patriotmobile.com/Beck or call their U.S.-based customer service team at 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Veterans and first responders save even more, so go check them out. Same service, lower price, and they celebrate Christmas too. I know, that's a crazy idea. Get free activation and a special gift with the offer code BECK. patriotmobile.com/Beck. It's patriotmobile.com/Beck or call 972-PATRIOT.
You're listening to Glenn Beck.
News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. You know where you were when the Golden State Killer was arrested. You're a moderator on the Zodiac Killer subreddit, but now you're in search of a new challenge. Enter Solve, the hit podcast that puts you at the center of the investigation. Solve is like no other murder mystery podcast. Now killers hiding in plain sight. You alright?
Yeah, it's just disturbing. You ever seen anything like this before?
Not like this. To listen to Solve, download the free iHeartRadio app or listen wherever you get your podcasts. What are you doing to keep your nose clean? After all, your nose is your body's air filter, the first line of defense against airborne diseases. I'm Martin Hope, and I invented Navage, the powered suction nose cleaner. Navage cleans your nose by flushing out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs, including dangerous infectious germs. So with all the horrible stuff in the air, now's the perfect time to join more than 1 million Americans who use Navage. It has over 30,000 online reviews, averaging 4.7 stars. Why? Because Navage is easy to use. It's inexpensive, all natural, drug-free and safe, and most important, it works. Think about it. You wash your hands every day. Maybe it's time to clean your nose, too. Breathe better, sleep deeper, feel and be healthier. Online at Navage.com and at Target, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
WSNE HD2 Taunton, Providence. W284VA Warwick.
If you plan properly for your retirement, you should have enough money to cover your income needs. But if you don't, that means you may have to generate income during your retirement if you hope to live comfortably. Hi, this is Chuck Zotter from the Armstrong Advisory. Generating retirement income tends to be difficult. Could it be more important to have a retirement income plan that covers all the bases? Our new guide can offer great solutions, including dividend-paying stocks, capital appreciation, as well as Social Security claiming strategies. Call our office today at 800-393-4001 and get your copy of our free guide, Generating Retirement Income. If you're concerned about making sure that your portfolio will be able to meet your income needs in retirement, this guide may help. Call 800